brutal proposition. I'm sorry, love, I'll have to turn you down. Oh, we must be up to summer.
Hey up and welcome to White Rose Football, the show that brings you all the highlights from the teams in Yorkshire. To your right and my left, we've got Ben Carrington and Matthew Taylor, our expert analyst and our top footballer. So first we'll chat with you, Ben. You are a Leeds fan and you're also going to America to play football and to do other things. Would you like to evaluate on that a bit more, express yourself?
Well, I got a soccer scholarship to be a student athlete and go to America with Shawnee State University and play football for them and study at the same time.
Should be fun. We'll go to you now, Matthew. You are analyst. Yeah, you're well known of your football manager skills. I'm sure as well, if you got the chance in real life, you'd just be equally as successful. Is something like Ben's doing, is that something you'd consider maybe, even with coaching as well? Because I know they do coaching courses out in America.
I'd really consider doing a coaching course. I think going into professional management would be something I'd be interested in long term. Yeah,
it would be a good career and I could see you succeeding in that one.
Thank you.
I think we'll get started, but first, we've said Ben is a Leeds fan. I am a Sheffield Wednesday fan and also Matt is as well, but I can assure you there will be no bias on our programme today. We're all Yorkshire, aren't we? So we'll kick start at Huddersfield as they go into their West Yorkshire derby against Leeds United. In goal for the home side, number 1 Danny Ward. The fullbacks are Tommy Smith and Christopher Lerver. In centre-back, it's Christopher Schindler and Michael Heffley. In centre midfield, it's number 10 Aramui and number 6 Jonathan Hogg. On the right-hand side midfield, it's Elias Kachunga. On the left, it's 17 Rajiv Van La Parra. And then partnering each other up top is Casey Palmer and Colin Quanner. And then on to Leeds United. In goal, number 1 Robert Green. The defence line up with Proudie, Pontus Jansson, Kyle Bartley and Luke Ayling. In the centre of midfield, it's Ronaldo Vieira and Liam Bridcut. On the wings, it's Pablo Hernandez and Stuart Dallas. And then up top, it's Suleimane Dukara and Chris Wood.
It's Kachunga, Hogg, Palmer, possibilities here as he shrugs off Janssen and finds Quanner. And Rob Green produces. Moy. Oh, Baradie's mistake. Kachunga pounces. Janssen there. Smith. Oh, dangerous. Oh, and finished off by Izzy Brown. What an entrance that is. Off the bench, on the score sheet. And the Leeds error severely punished. Oh, hold on the end of the free kick at the end of all that, but that's Bartley, and there's Wood! And there's the Leeds response! Huddersfield standing bewildered, looking for a flag. But Chris Wood does not care about that. Wood meeting it, an important defensive role he plays at set pieces. Oh, and good play by Brown, and a chance for Quanner, and a great save, Green. Moy. Oh, where's he going to drop? Heffel is in there! Well, Wagner going to join his players in jubilation. Is that the moment?
It's an absolutely cracking game of football there. A couple of talking points, I think, from it. We'll start off with the first goal, Izzy Brown. Quite fortunate how it fell to him, wasn't it, Matthew?
Yeah, I felt like quite a lot in the first half we saw Huddersfield dispossess Leeds and play sort of through balls to cut through the defence. And I feel like that happened with Izzy Brown's goal and it paid off for Huddersfield in the end.
Yeah, I think we'll go to Ben for Chris Wood's goal. What did you make of the goal?
I think all the goals are very similar, all came from mistakes and quite fortunate that no one was marking Wood or onside and good touch and to take it around keeper.
Yeah, it was. I thought as well, especially Robert Green's performance, something that stood out to me. I'm not saying he kept you in it, I think far from that, but he made some very important saves, and I think for a man that's obviously probably gone past his peak now quite a lot of critics since the World Cup in 2010. I believe that he's found his form again. He has, and been shown why he's a top quality keeper for the Championship. And then Hefferley's goal at the end, obviously, again, bit of fortune how it falls to him. Would you like to expand on that if you two?
I also think there was a bit of poor defending, not following the men, and it eventually led to Hefferley running in behind, and can't let that happen.
Yeah. And just a summary on Huddersfield and Leeds season. Start off with Huddersfield finishing 5th. They will play, spoiler alert, Sheffield Wednesday in the playoffs, as we'll get onto them later. How do you see them faring from a Huddersfield view, Matt?
It's a hard call. Being the playoffs, it's like the season started all over again. Everyone has a 25% chance. I feel like if they stay injury free, sort of keep it all together, then I reckon they've got a chance. But it's anybody's shot at this point.
Yeah, and Leeds as well. We'll go to Ben. 7th finish. I would say that's not a bad season for Leeds. First season really pushing for the playoffs. Gary Monk's obviously done a great job. Made some good acquisitions in Janssen and Bartley as well. Kept me really tight at the back. You know, what do you make of this season?
Well, if someone asked me before the season if I'd take 7th, I'd have took it.
Yeah.
The past 3 years have been awful, and Gary Monk's been the first proper manager since probably Simon Grayson that we've had an actual chance of doing something now. He's just got to be signed on, and we've got to keep going, building. Yeah,
I'd agree with that massively. I think we'll go to our second game now at Pride Park, because it's been recently renamed, for Derby versus Barnsley. In goal number 1 it's Scott Carson, Alex Pearce and Chris Baird are in the centre-back positions. At full-back it's Cyrus Christie and Marcus Olsen. In the centre of midfield it's Julian Destart and Bradley Johnson. Just in front of them is Mativ Vidra, Johnny Russell and Tom Ince, and then up top is David Nugent. In goal, Adam Davis. Full-backs are Jones and Yeadham. In centre-back it's Mark Roberts and Angus MacDonald. In the centre of midfield, it's Matty James and Josh Scowen. On the wings, it's Watkins and Hamill. And then up top, it's Tom Bradshaw and Adam Armstrong.
And Barnsley will bring the ball forward here with Jones. And he plays it out wide to Scowen. And Scowen plays it down the line for Watkins. And the Derby players think the ball's gone out, and it hasn't. And Bradshaw enters the box, finds Armstrong. Armstrong just shoots wide. And the Derby County players thought the ball had gone out and just stopped playing, and Barnsley nearly scored. And Scott Carson clears the ball here onto his left-hand side, and Yeadham brings it down and then turns into trouble, and Johnny Russell dispossesses him, and Derby have a chance here. Johnny Russell runs down the right wing. He enters the box and shoots straight at the goalkeeper, and it's a wasted opportunity for Derby County. And Roberts will launch this throw into the box, and Matty James heads it into the corner past Scott Carson. Barnsley take the lead here at Pride Park, and it's a fully deserved lead, may I say. And Derby County are still behind here, and Barfield plays it out wide to Christie on this right-hand side. He floats it into the box towards Nugent, and it falls its way to Tom Ince, and Tom Ince equalises. Derby County are level, and it's the man Tom Ince once again. And Tom Ince fires the ball over the wall, and Davies tips it over for a Derby County corner. A long ball's played towards Nugent here, and it's headed away. But Jones gives it away to Vidra, and he finds Nugent in the box. Nugent shoots it and flicks it to the corner. Derby County take the lead through David Nugent. His 15th goal of the season. And it's Christie, and it's headed off the line by Bradshaw, and the score stays at 2-1. And Derby continue to put the pressure on here, and Olsen plays it into the box, and Davies runs out for it and then runs back onto his line, and Christie has the ball here and he plays it to Ince, and it's headed over by Bradley Johnson. And there might be one more final chance here for Derby, and Anya has it on his left hand side being held up by Jones, and Anya turns him and plays it to Johnson here, who lays it off to Will Hughes. It's a good save by Davies.
So a thrilling encounter at Pride Park. Let's see what Matthew is going to say about the goals. So we'll start off with the first one from the long throw for Barnsley.
Yeah, brilliant long throw. Straight into the box. Head down really, really nicely by Matty James. Possibly could have been marked better at the near post by Derby defenders, but can't take any credit away for the goal. Yeah, the throw-in was unbelievable. I've not seen a throw-in like it since Rory Delap, probably. Even that, I can't remember anyone else could throw a ball like that.
But yeah, as you say, cracking header from Matty James, great signing he's been for Barnsley this year. Would you like to add anything, Ben?
It's a great header. He's managed to loop it over the keeper and he's really good at it.
Yeah, he's a fantastic header. We'll talk about, I think, Adam Davis. Well, we mentioned Rob Green. I thought Adam Davis made some good saves. Obviously, the next Wednesday and Everton youngster. I thought he made some good saves in the game, and I think he should be proud of his performance, especially after having a bit of a shocker at Oakwell, obviously against Wednesday, which we covered on previous episodes. I think he's redeemed himself. I think, and he's made some fantastic saves.
Yeah, I think without Davies in between the stakes, it could have been 4-5 to Derby. He kept the minute really with some shocking defence.
Yeah, a quick word on Derby now. Obviously, they've had a bit of a disappointing season. I think Steve McLaren wasn't the right man for the job, and they've got Rowett in now, and I think he's turned them around. And I think next season they'll be pushing for the playoffs. I think they'll be an interesting side to watch and see what they do in the summer. On Barnsley, I think their season's gone obviously 14th. They finish in the table now. It's mid-table. I'd say they've done. Personally, I think they've done quite well. Obviously losing Hurahan, Winnell as well. I think they've done marvellous. To be fair, I think even with those players, you wouldn't expect them to finish 14th.
I think first season after coming back up from League One, I reckon, especially through the playoffs, I reckon 14th is a very, very solid position to start off, and then hopefully they can sort of build from there and rebuild the club. Yeah,
I think what you got to remember as well is that they were bottom of League One. They were 18 months ago, and now they're 14th in the Championship. It's a fantastic achievement. Obviously winning the JPT and the playoffs as well. Yeah, Wembley double. So fantastic really. We go to our third game now, and this one takes place between the Millers and the Owls. See who can win this South Yorkshire derby. So in goal for Rotherham, number 12, Lewis Price, Joe Mattock, Richard Wood, Semi Ejayi and Darnell Fisher complete the back line. Joel Null plays out on the left wing with John Taylor on the right, Richie Smallwood and Will Vaux in the middle. Up top is Danny Ward, who is the captain today, and number 10, Carlton Morris. Sheffield Wednesday lineup with number 1, Keiren Westwood in goal. The back four of Adam Reach, Glenn Luvens, Tom Lees and Jack Hunt. In the holding midfield position, got number 3, David Jones. Barry Bannon and Ross Wallace play in the diamond. Gary Hooper leads the top of the diamond. Jordan Rhodes and Stephen Fletcher are partners up top.
Clever little back healer. For all we've had a bit of possession and...
Oh, this is nice play on the edge of the area though for Wednesday. Could be a strike here. It's Wallace, he twists and turns on it. Might fall nicely for Fletcher to hit, and it does, and he tucks it in! The bottom corner! And they've been on the back foot of Wednesday, but that doesn't matter because they're on the front foot now and they lead in the South Yorkshire derby. It's Fletcher.
Ward who can turn here inside Wednesday's half and dart towards goal. Ward runs and sprints down the left-hand side. He's got a few in the box now as the cross comes in. Not a bad delivery to Morris. And he's headed it straight at Keiren Westwood. Ronnie Moore from the Millers again. Can they find the equaliser here? On the left-hand side, Matic lifts it in towards Ward. Not a bad ball. Can Ward turn? He can. He shoots. It's blocked. It comes back to Danny Ward, who shoots again. And it is behind for the goal kick into the side netting.
Look at the game. Oh, OK, we're winning, but Rotherham have been the better side. They've created the better chances. I mean, go back to that last one there.
Here's a nice one too, though. Bannon rushes down the right. Has got Jack Hunt in support. It's crossed into Fletcher with a header. He scored again. Brilliant. It is Fletcher's second of the game. And Rotherham have been punished. Careless at one end and now careless at the other. Stephen Fletcher's second for Wednesday. Is that the goal that will take them back into the top 6 tonight? 2 for Fletcher, 2 for the
Angle wasn't easy to see. Skin. Here is the corner kick on the far side. It's a high one towards the back post. The header down by Wood. Can he poke it towards goal? And the shot is hit in the end. He was hit by Mattock, rolled back away to the edge of the area, swung back in there by Smallwood, headed down and then cleared away by Reach. Wood.
Something today, people.
There's the full-time whistle, so it has finished 2-0 to Sheffield Wednesday.
So not the most exciting of games, but definitely the one that's got a few talking points involved. So Matt, would you like to talk us through the first talking point, which is obviously the first goal in the game?
The first goal, admittedly, was offside. It was an incorrect decision from both the referee and the linesman. But at the same time, you've got to give some credit to the build-up.
Yeah.
With between Hooper, Bannon, and then Fletcher.
Yeah.
And a very exquisite finish from Fletcher to drill it near post.
Yeah.
Where the keeper can't reach.
It was on the right foot as well. His weak foot was a good finish, but yeah, he was offside, but he can't take anything away from the finish. The second goal, again Fletcher. What do you make of it, Ben?
It's good play by Sheffield Wednesday. And it's great bowling, but the defenders let Fletcher get behind him and got wrong side of him. Is just watching the ball and he's floated in. Fletcher's been able to attack it and he hasn't been watching his man.
Yeah.
It's great header though, great header.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I do think that where Rotherham just seemed to they never tested Keiren Westwood. I think they had the one header in the first half, head it down straight into the hands. You've got to do more than that, especially when they were obviously being relegated. The fight, come on, show a bit of desire. In a South Yorkshire derby, show what you can do. And they did have decent cross into box, created chances, but they just did not test Keiren Westwood at all. And I think it was pretty routine afternoon. I think for Wednesday, not an easy afternoon at all, but I think routine would be the word I'd use for that. Matt, would you like to just summarise Wednesday's season? Obviously, not over yet. Potentially, obviously the playoff semi-finals and also maybe a final. Obviously, have to get past a good team in Huddersfield, finishing 4th Wednesday this year. So
I think this season definitely progress. I think for the last 5-6 seasons, there's been slow progress. We finished 6th last season, and we've with a nice solid 4th position this season.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like it's progress, and if Wednesday don't make it to the final and they don't go up, then there's always next season where we could possibly fight for top 2.
Yeah. Paul Warne as well. He's got a big job next season at Rotherham in League One. How do you think they'll fare, Ben, in League One next year?
I think it'll be tough for them.
Yeah.
Definitely. They need a couple of additions and in every area of the pitch, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to start creating more goals and getting more chances.
Yeah.
Otherwise they'll struggle again.
Well, I think at the moment they've got a League One side, but that side's going to be low on confidence. It is, so they do need to get some fresh faces in. So now it's time for everyone's favourite part of the show, and that is the feature. Basically, it's a quick game where our contestants, analyst and footballer, are going to act as contestants here, try and see who's got the better football knowledge. And this week it's going to be based on the FIFA Ultimate Team stats. So I've got quite a few questions here. The first round is going to be guess the stat. So you have to say it basically within 2 of the actual stat. So you get 2 over and 2 below. So we'll crack straight on with it. I think Ben, as you're our guest this year, this episode, we will start with you first. So I'll make sure you can't see them because I reckon you've been looking cheekily. We'll start off with Middlesbrough, Spanish striker Alvaro Negredo. The question I'm going to ask you is, what is his pace stat? His pace stat. Yeah, you've got to get in between 2. So
57.
57. You're saying 57? Is that your final answer? I'm sorry to say, but his pace stat is actually 66. So you don't get the point there. So no points for Ben at this stage. I'm just going to write a 0 here. We now move on to Hull City. Matthew, I've got Robert Snodgrass here, bit of a Leeds. What would you call him, a legend? Would you call him a legend, or just a ex-player? We don't like him at Wednesday, really, do we? But because he's at Hull, we can't be biased. So he's a good footballer. Yeah. Well, he was at Hull anyway. Sorry, should I add? He was at Hull. But when these questions were done, he wasn't. Passing stat for Robert Snodgrass, Matthew.
Robert Snodgrass passing, I would go 74.
74. That is a good guess, but an unlucky one. His passing stat is unfortunately 78. So you were close. So unfortunately, no points for you there, Matt. We now move on to Sheffield Wednesday. Ben, what is Sam Hutchinson's defending stat?
Isn't he the one that gets sent off all the time?
Used to. Well, we're used to. He hasn't been sent off recently. I don't think he's been sent off this season, has he, if I'm not mistaken?
Has it once or twice?
He's probably
very
once.
conservative though.
Yeah, he's matured as a player.
I'd go with 73.
Ooh, and that is the closest we've had yet. But unfortunately, no point. His defending stat is 70. I forgot to mention, actually, I can give you a clue. I can tell you their overall rating if you would like to know. Obviously that doesn't really give too much of an indication, but if you would like to know it, then I can give you. We now move on to Leeds, Matthew. What is Charlie Taylor's shooting stat?
I would guess 64.
Incorrect, it's 54. So again, no points. I thought you'd be doing a bit better than this. Huddersfield Town's Danny Ward, what's his reflexes stat? Ben.
75.
That is unfortunately the wrong answer. It's actually 67. He's only 66 rated on the game, so having a 75 stat is quite high for Danny Ward.
He's much better on my fault manager save. Club level at Cardiff City.
Barnsley, Matthew. What is Adam Armstrong's dribbling stat?
I would say 65.
Again, very close, but unfortunately it's 68. The same as his overall rating, Adam Armstrong. One of the few rares actually we've got on here. It's a rare silver. Rotherham United, Ben. What is John Taylor's defending stat?
What position is it?
He's a left midfielder.
Defending stat. 52.
You're a long way off there. It's actually 27. Not. Well, you can see why Rotherham have been leaking goals through there. Well, he's a winger, but he's 27.
Your winger's got to do
You've got to go. Yeah, exactly. Got to do some defending. Sheffield United. What is John Fleck's passing stat?
I'll go 70.
And you've got it. Bang on.
Bang on.
Bang on, 70. That is our first point. Thank goodness for that. I thought it was going to be here all day. Bradford City, Ben. What is Matthew Kilgallen's, obviously ex-Sheffield United legend, pace stat? And also Leeds as well, ex-Leeds. What's his pace stat?
Pace, there's a slow one in here, Matt. 43.
Oh, it's a little bit more than that. It's 52. So currently, I'm just going to write an M there for Matthew so I don't forget. Matthew's 1-0 up. Can he make it 2-0? With Doncaster. What is Marco Morose's handling stat? I can give you, well obviously, you know the position, goalkeeper. I can give you his overall.
I have the overall.
He's a bronze 55.
Handling.
Yes, his handling stat.
I'll go 57.
48. Yeah, it's extremely low, that one. So currently, going into the first round, going second round, sorry, Matthew is 1-0 up. Very interesting. Well, it's not over till the fat lady sings, Matthew. I won't get too carried away.
I can't get the celebration.
This is where it gets a bit interesting. So round 2, this is where I've got 4 players on the list. Okay. So Ben, you will go first. Ben, you will pick 2 players. You will also pick a stat as well. So you can pick. So basically, the first round is going to be goalkeeper. So you would pick a stat, and you'd have to compare. So what's the difference between those 2 players? So I've got a choice of Keiren Westwood, Victor Valdez, David Marshall, and Robert Green. So pick a stat. So either diving, handling, kicking, reflexes, speed, position, and then tell the difference between the 2. So just pick 2 for me.
Keiren Westwood.
Right.
And Marshall.
Right. Okay. I can give you the overall ratings if you'd like them.
Yeah, go on.
They're both 76 non-rare goalkeepers. So any stat out of the 6?
Reflexes.
Right. Okay. Reflexes. Yeah. So what is the difference? Do you think? 7. I can give you within 3. This one within 3. Unfortunately, though, that is incorrect. There's actually only 1 difference. There is Keiren Westwood has 79 reflexes, whilst David Marshall has 78. So unfortunately, Ben gets no points for that one. We'll cross those off. So Matt, you have the choice of, well, you don't have a choice at all. You have Victor Valdez and Robert Green. So which stat would you like, and would you like the overalls?
I would like diving.
You'd like diving, okay.
And I'll say a difference of 8.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect as well. It's actually, you pick the closest stats that they've got to each other. He did. So Victor Valdes has 80 diving, whilst Robert Green has 78. So there's only 2 difference. So unfortunately, you do get that one wrong as well. So no points given there. We move on to defenders now. So Ben, in fact, no, we'll switch it up a bit. Matt, you can go first. Since Ben went first last time. We've got some League One and one Championship, League Two as well. League Two, League One and Championship defenders here. So we've got Craig Alcott from Doncaster Rovers. We've got Nathaniel Knight Percival from Bradford City. We've got Chris Basham from Sheffield United and Richard Wood from Rotherham United. All of them are centre-backs. All of them are silver as well. Which 2 would you like?
I'll go for Basham.
Right.
And Knight Percival.
Right, okay. And what stat would you like?
Passing.
Passing, right, okay.
And I'll go for 13.
That is very unlucky. There's actually 18 between them. Knight Percival has 42 passing, whilst Chris Basham has 60 passing. So that's a difference of 18, so unfortunately you don't get the point there. Ben, you have Craig Alcott and Richard Wood. What stat would you like?
Physical stat.
Physical stat, right, okay.
5.
5. I'm allowing you to 3, so you do get the point there, actually. Coincidentally, it's 3 difference. Craig Alcott has 74 physical, and Richard Wood has 71. So you get the point there, Ben. You've now equalled it up overall. You are winning this round, though, currently. We now move on to midfielders. We'll go with Ben, seeing as though you won that one, and also you let Matt go first last time. So, what midfielders would you like out of Matty James, Barry Bannon, Frecklington, and Luke Murphy?
Bannon and Murphy.
Right, okay. So, would you like the overalls? And because they're both silver. Barry Bannon is 72, whilst Murphy is 69. All of them are central midfielders.
Go for the passing stat, please.
Right, okay.
And there'll be a difference of 7.
And you have that bang on.
Bang on.
It's very well done there, Ben. Barry Bannon has 77 passing, whilst Luke Murphy has 70. So Matt, you have Lee Frecklington and Matty James. Would you like the overalls?
Yes, please.
They're both 69 and non-rare.
I will go for pace.
Right,
And I'll
okay.
say a difference of 9.
Unfortunately, you don't get that. There is only a difference of 1 between them. Matty
really?
James is 67, and whilst Lee Frecklington is 68. So just Ben getting the point on that one.
Got the job incoming.
So Ben has now taken the lead, interestingly enough. Now we finally go on to strikers. Matt, you're first for this one. So we've got Chris Wood, we've got Gary Hooper, Ruddy Gusted, and Abel Hernandez. Who would you like and which stat?
I will take Chris Wood and Gary Hooper.
Right, okay. Do you like the overalls?
No, I'm alright, thank you.
Okay.
I'll say a passing difference of 6.
Ooh, it's unlucky. It's unlucky. There's actually 10 difference between them. So you're only 1 off, really. Gary Hooper is 63 passing, whilst Chris Wood has only got 53 passing. So no point for you there, Matt. Ben, can you extend your lead? That's the question. So you've got Ruddy Gusted and Abel Hernandez. Would you like the overalls?
Yes, please.
Ruddy Gusted is a rare 74 silver, whilst Abel Hernandez is a rare gold at 76.
Shooting, please.
Right, okay.
And I think there'll be a difference of 3.
And you've got that just right, because there's actually no difference between the two. So actually, you do get that. Yeah, they both have 73 shooting. So that's very well done, Ben. So you extend your lead to 3-1 now, going into round 3, which is the final round. So this one is basically just a bit of a comparing, but you only get the choice, like the 2 choices. Well, you don't get a choice, I tell you who you pick. So we'll go for strikers this one, and it's Doncaster Rovers we're going for. So who has the highest stat? And this is pace between Andy Williams and James Mandeville. So we'll go with you first, Ben, as soon as you're winning. So who has the higher pace? Would you like the overalls?
Please.
Andy Williams is a 66 silver, whilst Mandeville is only 55 bronze.
We'll go with Mandeville.
Well, unfortunately, because there's obviously no comparing, you don't say the stats, but Mandeville does not have the highest pace stat. I think I was trying to catch you out then, but unfortunately not. There's not much difference though. There's only two difference. Mandeville has 72 pace, whilst Williams has 74, so no point for you there, Ben. Matthew, move on to Bradford City, and these are two midfielders. So we've got Nicky Law, and we've also got Marshall. These don't play in the same position, by the way. Marshall's a left midfielder and Nicky Law is a central midfielder. Would you like the overalls?
Yes, please.
Nicky Law is 64 and Marshall is a 65. So Marshall's silver, Nicky Law is a bronze.
We've got the pace again.
I'm shooting that. It's shooting. Shooting.
I would say Nicky Law.
Unfortunately, no point there, Matt. No point. Marshall is 57, whilst Nicky Law is 55. So again, no point for you there, Matthew. You're on a bit of a no point streak.
A goals run.
We're going to Sheffield United now, and this one you're looking for the passing stat, Ben. So we've got Stephen Skugel and Mark Duffy.
Overalls.
67, Stephen Skugel, and Mark Duffy is Stephen Skugel is 66, and Mark Duffy is 67.
I'll go with Duffy.
And no point again. Stephen Skugel, 64 passing, and Mark Duffy, 63. Very close again, but no point unfortunately. So next we go to Matt, Rotherham United and dribbling. Got a player that you might know quite well, Joe Mattock, and then Darnell Fisher. Would you like the overalls?
Please.
Darnell Fisher is a 64 rare bronze, and Joe Mattock is a non-rare silver 67 rated.
Knowing Mattock from his Wednesday days, he was never great on the ball dribbling wise. So I'll say Darnell Fisher.
Again, unfortunately, no point. 63 Darnell Fisher, Mattock 64. Very close again. You need to start picking up some points, Matt.
I know.
Barnsley, so we've got two goalkeepers here. We've got Adam Davies and Nick Townsend. I'm looking for the handling stat, Ben. Who has the higher handling stat?
Adam Davies.
Adam Davies does have the higher handling stat. Only just again, Adam Davies 62, whilst Nicky Townsend is 61. Next we go on to Huddersfield. Who has the higher pace? Naki Wells or Kachunga?
Naki Wells, known around the Championship for goal scoring and pace. Kachunga, I know from his Paderborn days, he was fairly pacey. I will say Naki Wells.
And that is correct. Naki Wells has two higher. Naki Wells is 84 pace and Kachunga is 82. So Matt, can you start a comeback? I don't think you can, but
we'll see.
Good luck. We'll see
about that.
We'll see. Leeds, Ben, so a team you know very well, of course. We've got Liam Bridcut and Ewan O'Kane. We're looking for the shooting stat of those two. Who's banged in a few goals this season, Ben?
Definitely not Bridcut. I have to go with O'Kane.
And you are correct as well. Ewan O'Kane has 52 shooting, whilst Liam Bridcut has only 46. So you're piling the pressure on Matt as we go to Sheffield Wednesday and passing. So who has the higher passing stat? Kieran Lee or Ross Wallace?
I'll say Ross Wallace.
And that's very unfortunate because it is Kieran Lee with 69 passing, Ross Wallace has 68, so no points there. And I believe that means, I don't want to spoil things, but Ben is the winner, but we will carry on anyway because we have two questions left. So Hull City in physical, Davies and Dawson, who do you think is the high physical stat?
Davis is much more of a meathead, I think, so we'll go with Davis.
And that is correct. Davis has 78 passing, whilst Dawson has 70 physical, and Dawson has 77. And the final question will go with Middlesbrough. Matthew, can you redeem yourself a little bit here? After a good start, you were winning and you bottled it. We've got Middlesbrough in kicking. So we've got Konstantopoulos and we've got Brad Guza. Who has the higher kicking stats?
I'll say Konstantopoulos.
And that is very true by a long margin as well. Konstantopoulos has 74 kicking, whilst Brad Guza only has 58.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. So I believe that, Ben, you're the winner. Let me just check by how many. You were 3-1 going into round 3, and then
5-2.
you got 6. You got 6 points, and Matt, you only ended up getting 3. So a comfortable victory then for, well, let's just say Leeds United over Wednesday. So we will now move on to our next game, which is arguably the game of the day down at the Keiren Stadium as Hull City take on Middlesbrough in this relegation tussle in the bottom of the Premier League. So in goal for Hull City is Eldin Jakupovic. Back for Andy Robertson, Harry Maguire, who takes the captain's armband, Ranocchia and El Mohammadi. Midfield it's Alfred Ndai and Sam Klukas. Further forward, Kamil Grzycki, Umar Nias and Lazar Markovic, and then Abel Hernandez. In goal for Middlesbrough, number 26, Victor Valdez. At fullback, it's James Husband and Antonio Barragan. Centre-back, Captain Ben Gibson and Daniel Ayala, with Stuart Downing, Adam Clayton, Martin de Roon, and Adama Traore, Alvaro Negredo and Rudy Gested.
They're in trouble here though. Traore from a Hull mistake. Options in the middle. Can't sort his feet out. Negredo! A blockbuster start for Middlesbrough. And a much-needed goal too. The away goal drought is over. And at last, Middlesbrough have cause to be cheerful in their fight to beat the drop. Solid challenge from Ndai sets the Tigers going again. Robertson up in the air for Nias maybe. Hernandez is prowling. He can't finish it off, but Markovic can. And his first Hull City goal could be a vital one. They claw themselves back into the game. Having gone behind against the run of play, their response has been terrific. Refereeing Middlesbrough tonight, but in all seriousness, he is somebody who's had his time in the game. Nias takes it down, pops it in. It's another Hull City turnaround from 1-0 down to 2-1 up. And they are relishing their basement battle, coming good just at the right time. Brilliant ball. Here's Grzycki, who has a man in the middle. And he scored. And it's Abel Hernandez. And Hull City have an iron grip on this game now.
Well, Markovic shouldn't have passed the ball. Grzycki should, but it's an absolutely stunning pass from Harry Maguire. They are. Markovic is blocking Gested.
And it comes towards Gibson. It's there to be fought for, and it's in. Hull City can't believe it's been given, but Martin de Roon races away in celebration, and Middlesbrough are back in it.
Well, I said about the zonal marking system, they don't deal with the first one, so this will come from a assistant referee. Well, he didn't flag, so it won't be offside.
He's given it.
It's a massive mistake. What a game we got here.
Well, Gibson certainly got the last touch. De Roon was definitely offside, so much so Jakupovic didn't even dive for it. Robertson tries to do just that. It's Maguire with a header! It's a big, big header from the captain. That could be a huge moment in the seasons of Hull City and Middlesbrough.
Well, we did say it might be, I'm not sure it is a free kick. What a header.
His first Premier League goal could eventually lead to Premier League survival. Who knows?
Yeah, as my dad always used to say, hit it with your eyes, and that's what he does. He puts his eyes right on the back of the ball. It's a brilliant technical header, and he's been technically brilliant all night.
So a fantastic game there at the Keiren Stadium. Matthew, what do you think of Middlesbrough in this game?
Middlesbrough, I thought, as well as overall, I thought the game was quite scrappy. There was a lot of sort of wrestling in the box. Middlesbrough, I thought, were clinical, just didn't sort of create enough chances at goal. With the first goal with Negredo, I felt like what we've seen with him at Man City, it was very sort of poacher-esque, getting down to the floor, shooting top corner. Very good run in behind the Hull City defender.
Yeah. Obviously, the Middlesbrough second goal wasn't given offside, and it clearly was. It was a good couple of yards offside. But I think Hull, responded very well. Obviously, that was at 3-2. The game could have easily turned at that moment, but responded well in the second half. Got a good goal with Harry Maguire. What did you think of Hull's performance, Ben, in this match?
It's been they're real good. They come around this season, haven't they? Start the season, a lot of controversy with the owners and whatnot, but they've managed to turn it around and good for survival at the minute.
Yeah, Marco Silva's done a fantastic job. I believe they are 18th in the league, so they are just slipped in because Swansea did win, so Hull couldn't get out of the relegation zone. Unfortunately, though, we do have to say goodbye to the Premier League for Middlesbrough. It's been a bit of a disappointing season, I think. Not so much, I don't think they've played badly, it's just they've not created anything else either. I think that game sort of summed them up, that they could still score 2 goals away from home and still lose. I think defensively, generally, they've been good, but I think they just went for it a bit too much in that game, still didn't create enough, and then left themselves vulnerable at the back as well. What are you hoping to see in the Championship from Middlesbrough next season, Matt?
I'm hoping to see an improvement to the squad and a big boost in morale for them to make a push for top 2 next season. So I feel like as a club of Middlesbrough's size, you sort of expect them to sort of bounce straight back.
What do you reckon is going to happen to their big earners at the club, like Alvaro Negredo and Victor Valdez? Do you think they'll be coming back for another season, or do you reckon they'll be off?
I reckon, depending on the situation, I can't imagine men will want to stay and play in the Championship.
No.
So I can realistically see them either leaving on a permanent or a loan deal to a club either in the Premiership or abroad.
It's not. I think they've probably been 2 of their better players. Obviously, Negredo's got a few goals, but not really had the service, and I don't think he's at times as well been clinical enough. Valdez obviously been a superb keeper, probably their player of the season, if not, we've up there with like Ben Gibson, who I think probably again will be leaving, just like say like Michael Keane at Burnley. I think centre backs are in demand, especially young, talented ones as well, and I think he'll be off to a mid-table Premier League side. Quick word on Hull season. Do we think they'll stay up this year?
No, I think they haven't had the right investment from the start of the season. I just don't think it'll be enough.
Do you agree, Matt?
I think so, yeah. I think the home form's been good until sort of recently. Results have been a bit scattered, but I don't think the home form alone is enough to take them and make them safe. So I do think they'll slip and they'll take that final relegation spot.
And I think as well you can say the same about them as what we do about Middlesbrough. Obviously Harry Maguire, talented young centre back. I think definitely someone like maybe like a Pep Guardiola might like.
Yeah.
I think he's a ball playing centre back. He's good with his feet. He scores goals as well, which is most important. So like Sheffield United as well, being given his chance this year, and I think he's definitely stepped to the plate. They've obviously got some big names as well, like Ranocchia as well. I think he's on loan, but he's still a talented player that I don't think will be coming back for a Championship season. Same with even Nias as well, Markovic. Good talented players that I really don't think they'll keep hold of. So I think if they do go down, it's a lot of rebuilding. But personally, I think they might stay up. I can't see Swansea getting anything out of their last couple of games. I think again at home, I think if they just probably get a win and a point, I think they'll stay up. But we'll move into our 5th game now, and we go to Valley Parade, where Bradford take on Sheffield United. Sheffield United already won the league at this point, but they weren't going to let that stop them getting to 100 points. In goal is number 1, Colin Doyle. At left back, Matthew Kilgallen. At the right back, Josh Cullen. And then the 2 centre backs, Nathaniel Knight-Percival and Rory McArdle. In the holding midfield role, it's Romain Vincelot. On the wings, Billy Clark and Nicky Law. At the top of the diamond, it's Timothy Dieng. And then up top, it's target man James Hansen and Jordi Huula. And the line for Sheffield United is in goal number 25, Simon Moore. a centre-back partnership of Jake Wright, Ethan Ebanks-Landell and Chris Basham. The midfield four consists of Daniel Lafferty, John Fleck, Paul Coops and Kieran Freeman. Behind the two strikers is number 21 Mark Duffy, and then up top is Matty Doan and Billy Sharp, who takes the captain's armband.
And Duffy floats the ball into the box and finds Billy Sharp on the end of it, and Billy Sharp heads it past the Bradford goalkeeper, and Sheffield United take the lead here at Valley Parade, and it's that man Billy Sharp once again this season. He is on fire. Nicky Law drives on here for Bradford, and he finds Hanson here on the left hand side, who lays it off to Kilgallen on the wing. Kilgallen puts the ball to the box, it's pushed out by the goalkeeper. Billy Clark equalises. He's stolen at the back post, the ball was loose and he put it in the back of the net, and Bradford are level here against Sheffield United. Oh, and Sheffield United take the free kick earlier. Billy Sharp's on the end of it. It's 2-1 to Sheffield United. They've retaken the lead. The referee said it was alright to take the free kick, and they took advantage of Bradford standing still, and Sheffield United lead again. And Hanson tries to get on the end of it, and it's cleared off the line. And Sheffield United is struggling to get the ball out here, and it's come out to Cullen, who floats it back into the box, and Hanson mishits it, but Schuler's on the end of it. It's 2-2, and Bradford are level once again. Geordie Schuler equalises for the Bantams. And a quick throw taken on this left-hand side to Nicky Law for Bradford. And it's Dieng into Cullen, and Cullen plays it out wide to Kilgallen, who puts it into the box, and Dieng volleys it into the bottom corner. Bradford take the lead, and it's a superb goal from Dieng. Bradford 3, Sheffield United 2. And it will be John Fleck to take the corner here for Sheffield United, and it's across the box, and it's found its way into the back of the net. Chris Basham runs away and celebrates into the corner. I think he got the final touch. It's 3-3 here, Valley Parade. What a superb game for the neutral.
So, a fantastic game at Valley Parade. Definitely, I think the Billy Sharp show. The first goal, I think, epitomised it really. Fantastic header. But I think the game was overshadowed by some very, very dodgy defending from both sides. I think typical, not League One defending. I'd say League One's a good standard, but it definitely felt like you weren't watching a Championship or a Premier League game. Would you agree with that, Matthew?
Yeah, I definitely would. I felt like it was an end-to-end game throughout, like littered with poor defending and clinical finishing from both sides at the same time, which why we ended up with a 3-3 thriller. Yeah, as I said before, Billy Sharp, 2 excellent goals, and third one we're still not quite sure who that came off, but I think it was either him or Jack O'Connell. Will be claiming that. Yeah, it was an interesting one really, because especially the first goal, it's like Billy Sharp came out of nowhere really, and it was a fantastic ball put straight on his head. You know, how do you think Sheffield United played then in that game?
They were very good, but they've been very good all season.
Yeah.
To be fair, and I think they'll surpass 100 point marks.
Yeah.
I think they've done. And I think they'll do well next year in Championship, but I think they might need a couple of additions.
Yeah, definitely. I think Championship will be a big shock, I think, if they don't make any additions there. But I think they've got a good core to the side. I still stand by, I don't think Billy Sharp can do it maybe in the Championship, but I think maybe if someone's next to him there, give him a bit of a confidence boost, I think he'd get a couple of goals. I think probably more, not just like the odd 1 or 2 maybe, but no, I definitely think they've got a good core. I think John Fleck's a fantastic midfielder. But as well, Bradford might be in the Championship next year because they did finish 5th. They're in the playoffs. Do you think they'll get through the playoffs first? Do you think they'll get to Wembley and win, Matthew?
I'd quite like them to. I like Bradford City as a club. I think supporters brilliant. I like how the club's run. Mm-hmm. I definitely feel like if they can perform well, it sounds obvious, but if they do perform well, I feel like they'll definitely do well for themselves in the playoffs. Yeah,
I agree with that. And then again, Championship, same way what we said about Sheffield United. They've got a good group, I think, there. Have they got a Championship squad or many Championship players? I don't think so. I don't want them to do what Rotherham have done this year in not really investing in good championship players. So I think again investment will be needed if they do go up. Especially obviously looking at both defences that game, they will need sorting out. But maybe that's just because they were a bit on their holidays. I think Bradford going into that game could only finish 5th anyway. Sheffield United were obviously champions long ago. So we'll move on. I think we'll go to Grimsby Town versus Doncaster Rovers. Doncaster Rovers battling it out for the title. They started the day in 2nd place. They could finish as low as 3rd. Obviously, potentially could win the league, despite obviously already securing promotion about a month ago. So let's go and see how they got on. So in goal for Grimsby is number 1 James Keogh. Fullbacks Danny Andrew and Zach Mills. In centre back it's Gavin Gunning and Andrew Boyce. Today it's midfield 4 of Dan Jones, Chris Clements, Jamie Osborne and Brandon Comley, and up top is number 35 Sam Jones and number 29 Callum Dyson. And now Donny line up with number 38 Ian Lawler in goal, Matty Blair, Andy Butler who takes the captain's armband, Matthew Baudry and Craig Alcott in defence. Whilst midfield line up with Niall Mason on the left hand side, Gary McSheffrey on the right. In the middle, Tommy Rowe and Luke McCulloch. Up top, it's the deadly duo of John Marquis and Andy Williams.
And Grimsby on the attack here, and Comley plays it into Jones, who shrugs off the defender, and he gets past the defender and fires it in. Grimsby take the lead through Sam Jones. It's his 4th goal of the season, and they lead against Doncaster Rovers here at Blundell Park. And Doncaster come on to attack here through Marquis, and he sprays the ball out wide here to Mason on this left-hand side. And Mason looks for Williams in the box, and he finds his way to Marquis, and Marquis equalises. 3 minutes after Grimsby take the lead, Doncaster are level, and it's through that man John Marquis once again this season. And it will be Gary McSheffrey to take the corner on this right-hand side. And Marquis is there to make it 2-1 to Doncaster. They've turned it around here at Blundell Park, and it's that man, John Marquis, again. And Grimsby bring the ball forward, and Comley's been dispossessed by Rowe, and Marquis has been played in. Marquis, who's on the hat-trick, surely to finish the game. He makes it 3-1. John Marquis has got his hat-trick. And what a performance from the striker. Doncaster lead by 3-1 over Grimsby. And Dominic Vose stands over the free kick, and he fires it through the wall, and it's a good save by the Doncaster keeper Lawler, and he keeps the score at 3-1. And Vose gives it away to Middleton, who sets off Williams here, and Williams has space to run into. He's got Marquis as well up there with him, and Williams cuts inside the defender and fires it in. It's 4-1 to Doncaster. What a superb goal by Williams, and Doncaster have surely wrapped up the points. And Middleton will take the corner here for Doncaster on this left-hand side and puts it into the centre, and the keeper doesn't get there, and it's 5-1. The ball has found its way into the net. I think Alfie May got the final touch. He runs away and celebrates at the corner flag, and Doncaster wrap up a superb away performance with a 5th goal.
A fantastic game to end on. Obviously Doncaster scoring 5 goals. Unfortunately though, the results didn't go their way, and they ended up finishing 3rd in League 2. Obviously had the chance to win the title, but results did not go their way. They've been top as well for a long time before that, and they dropped off a little bit. Unfortunately could only seal promotion. How do you think they played today, Matthew?
For starters, I feel like when Grimsby first scored, it opened the floodgates, just not in their favour. And then Doncaster came in with a barrage of attacks, and then Grimsby were eventually overcrowded. So very, very solid performance by Doncaster. Yeah,
so a lot of variation of goals as well got in. So 2 from a corner. A quality goal from Andy Williams as well. He cut inside with that Ronaldo chop. Marquis with obviously one with the header from the corner, and then 2 excellent finishes as well on either side of half time. How good is he, Ben? How good is John Marquis?
He's very good player, top quality player for the division, and he'll do well next year.
Yeah.
But I think the whole Doncaster team is a very good team, and confidence is flowing to them at the minute.
Yeah. I think we've got to talk about the celebration, haven't we, for the 5th one? What would you two call that?
Salt Bay.
You've got to be that for Salt Bay.
Yeah. I'm not sure it was his goal, but we'll let him have the celebration, I think. We do a little good celebration here on White Rose Football. Grimsby started off good, but we're just poor in the end. Conceded one, heads went down, poor. A decent finish though for them first season in League Two. But Doncaster going up to League One now. They'll be obviously very happy with that. Disappointed not to win the league, but how do you think they'll fare, Matthew, in League One?
After going down from the Championship and then down into League Two, I think most of the fans felt quite disappointed.
Yeah.
So I imagine they'll feel quite ecstatic to be back up there in League One, slowly building up again. I feel like next season, under the right management and with the right investment, I think they could mount a decent mid-table push.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah. Would you go along? Would you go along that, Ben?
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be a lot of tough competition in that league next year.
Yeah.
But I think they can do quite well.
Yeah, I think actually, I don't think they need that many additions. I think they've already probably got a League One standard side. John Marquis alone is a superb striker, probably pushing Championship football. I think at times, probably arguably along up there with Billy Sharp. You know, which is why he won the League Two Player of the Year. I think they've obviously got experience in there as well. James Coppinger's been around a long time there, you know, and if he stays fit, he's a fantastic player on his day despite his age. But yeah, I think they'll do very well in League One next year. So that rounds up for all our games today. We take a look now at the Premier League. Hull City obviously sitting in 18th in the relegation zone, but still a fighting chance of staying up. Unfortunately now Middlesbrough are now relegated, which is a huge shame for them. They will be playing Championship football next year. So Sheffield Wednesday up there, the highest Yorkshire side in the Championship in 4th. Just behind them in 5th, Huddersfield Town. They will meet each other in the playoffs. Unfortunately, Leeds United missing out on 6th place. Results not going in their favour towards the last few games of the season. Sat there in 7th. Barnsley in mid-table. They'll be very happy. 14th place finished after losing a lot of their players in January. Very good season for them. And unfortunately, Rotherham United will be playing League One football next year, finishing 24th by a long way, unfortunately for them. Sheffield United, they're obviously top of League One, 100 points. A fantastic turnout for them. Bradford City in the playoffs, finished 5th. Fantastic season for them. And then in League Two, our only side in League Two, Doncaster Rovers, up there in 3rd. Promotion for them this year, a great achievement for them, and they'll be looking forward to League One next year. So it's goodbye from Ben, and also goodbye from Matthew, and it's goodbye from me and White Rose Football. We're all Yorkshire, aren't we?